I'm going to talk about how yoga changed my life and how it can also change yours, plus 9 lessons I learned through yoga. In the first part of this video, I'm going to share my personal yoga journey with you. Then in the second part, I'm going to share my top 9 lessons I learned through yoga. So let's dive into this video. Hi there, it's Sarah from S-Health Now. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, welcome to this channel. I upload weekly new videos about overall health, nutrition and fitness, with the mission to make nutrition simple and connect people to their own bodies to experience lasting health and happiness. If that's something that you want, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell to never miss a video. Now, let's get started with today's video. I started yoga a little over 4 years ago. Back then I was barely on Instagram and I didn't even think of recording any of my practices. Hence, there are no pictures or videos of me practicing back then. Now I think it's kind of sad because I love those transformation photos and videos. I think it's super inspiring to see what the body is capable of doing. Only a few weeks after I started my yoga practice initially, I decided to travel to India to participate in my first yoga teacher training. It was a way for me to find out if yoga is the right thing for me or not. I had to practice yoga every single day, all day long, for a whole month. It was very intense, but I fell in love with the practice. I have to mention here that I used to do vaulting, gymnastics on a horseback, for over 10 years. This background really helped me in my personal yoga journey. Even though my yoga journey officially started over 4 years ago, it wasn't until last year that I developed a regular routine and practice. I always loved yoga, but somehow I wasn't able to integrate it into my life as a regular thing. At that time I was working as a full-time flight attendant, constantly flying all over the world, and it made it really hard with having no routine to integrate yoga into my life. Now I am realizing I should have made the time to practice anyways. It would have helped me so much to balance the crazy jet-set life of a flight attendant. Then, before COVID hit last year, I decided to travel back to India to finally deepen my yoga practice again. I got certified as a 500-hour yoga teacher, and just after our graduation, the world broke out in chaos, followed by so much silence and stillness in terms of all of us staying at home. With all of the time that I suddenly had, I was able to establish a yoga routine for myself. It has been 1 year now that I have been practicing yoga every single day, and I am so grateful for it. It has changed my life in so many positive, different ways. Now in the second part of this video, I'm going to share the top 9 lessons I have learned while practicing yoga. Yoga taught me so much more than just 9 things, but in order to keep this video short, I picked the top 9 things. Yoga definitely changed my life to the better, and I think it also could change yours. Yoga is more than just a sport or a form of exercise. So here we go. Lesson number 1. Yoga brought me back to myself again. I used to live in my head most of the time, thinking, worrying, questioning, doubting, guessing, and so on. Yoga brought me back to my body and my values, out of the head and into the body. I learned how to ground myself within. That I am in charge of my life and I can create the life that makes me happy and aligns with my values, goals and beliefs. This brings me right to lesson 2. Yoga taught me to be present. Instead of living in the future or the past, yoga taught me to live in this present moment. There is this quote that once a yoga teacher shared in class, and ever since it stuck with me. The only time that exists in life is now. Lesson number 3. Yoga made me stronger, physically and mentally. Through yoga I was able to transform my body and bring my practice to a whole nother level. Getting stronger is an amazing feeling. Yoga also works the whole body and not just one certain muscle group, which tones and strengthens the whole body equally and beautifully. Mentally speaking, yoga made me stronger by knowing who I am, by spending all of this time just with myself on my mat. It showed me my limits, while at the same time pushing me outside of my comfort zones. Spending all of this time with myself taught me to trust and believe in myself. Number 4. Yoga taught me about the things that really matter. About life, love, relationships. About food and nutrition. About health, well-being, mindset and beliefs. Life purpose, the human body and so much more. As I mentioned before, yoga is so much more than just another form of exercise. It's a whole lifestyle with such an inspiring and interesting philosophy behind. Reading books about yoga and having conversations with other yogis, and especially listening to our philosophy teacher during my time in India, introduced so many new and interesting ways of thinking about the basics of life into my life. Lesson number 5. Through yoga, I learned to love my body exactly the way that it is. It showed me that fitness is more than just a bikini body. It is loving yourself enough to do what is good for you. It is moving your body because it will benefit you and not because you don't like the way that you look. It is about acceptance for who you are right now, while you can still work on a better you in the future. Lesson learned number 6. Yoga taught me to leave my comfort zone while still respecting my limits. When I teach yoga classes, I always remind my students to listen to their bodies. How are they feeling today? Which body parts are full of energy and which body parts might feel a little bit sore or simply not as great. If we feel pain in any certain yoga pose, it is time to leave that pose. But if it's just our brain that is telling us that we can't or don't want to do a certain pose, then push through that discomfort anyway. That is how we grow. Each day is different. That is why we need to stay present, to be able to listen and act accordingly. Number 7. Yoga introduced me to a new and loving community. With yoga being so popular these days, there are millions of people around the world practicing yoga. Having similar interests and something to talk about makes it so much easier to connect with people. I was able to build so many amazing friendships and find my people through the yoga world. Number 8. Yoga improved my balance and my posture. Due to vaulting, the sport that I was doing for over 10 years, I never really had problems to find my balance. But growing up, I had a terrible posture. Yoga, with all its beneficial poses, kind of imprinted a better posture into my physical body, very gently and over time. And lastly, lesson number 9. Yoga taught me to slow down and trust the process. These days, we are living in such a hectic world, full of stress. There are always more things to do and more goals to reach. Yoga taught me to slow down in this busy and fast-spinning world. While it is great to have goals, I love setting and reaching my goals. Life happens the way that it happens. Some things are out of our control. Instead of rigidly holding on to our plans and ideas of how things should go, sometimes we just have to trust the process. Certain things cannot be forced. Yoga taught me that with consistency, love, and joy along the way, our goals can be reached. I already said it before, yoga taught me so much more than just those 9 things. If you have been wanting to get into yoga, but something has been holding you back, I hope this list inspired you to just start. If you already are practicing yoga, I hope you as well are experiencing a certain bliss of learning and growing on your own personal yoga journey. Yoga does not have to look a certain way. Everything is yoga and yoga is everything. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something useful out of it. I would love to hear in the comments below how yoga changed your life. Also let me know what kind of other videos you would want to see next year on this channel. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to never miss a video. I will see you in the next video. Until then, have an amazing time. Bye!